everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur presents True Crime. Okay, Queen Ahmadiyyah TV presents True Crimes. So let's get ready to get into this nefarious story, people. Okay, I want to thank you all for returning to the chat. Hello, JP, Queen Candy J, William, Rosalind, Melody Brown, Dervis, One Who Cares, Donna. All right, Crimson Countess, October, Lee, Felicia Lloyd, 444 watching me, AV the Great Fight for Black. All right, Cherokee Descendant King, Aaron. Let's get into it, JP. Okay, so listen to this, people. Now, you all know that I told you all days ago that there's going to be, since we're involved in spiritual warfare, there's going to be a lot of demonic entities roaming freely amongst us, right? Demons cloaked in human flesh. Because as I told you, people who have this low vibrational frequencies and this low vibrational energy, they carry demons with them, low vibrational malevolent beings and entities, and they manifest these things in their wickedness. Okay, so you're going to be hearing a lot of these things, coming in the future. These things have always happened, but they're going to be elevated. There's going to be elevated numbers of these things occurring in the near future. So pay attention. Like the guy who went to the woman's door last week in Vegas, threatening to rape and kill her. Things that you would never think are going to be happening are going to be happening. All right. So pay attention. Man charged with beheading woman in a Minneapolis suburb. Okay. JP says, true queen, teach ma. Thank you, beloved. So now listen to this. A man is charged with beheading a woman while they were in a car in traffic in Minneapolis in a suburb. Now, Alexis Saborit was charged with second-degree intentional murder and the knife attack on America Thayer, that's her name, America Thayer, which happened Wednesday afternoon in Shakopee. I said this happened yesterday on the previous live. My mistake. It was actually reported on July the 30th, but this happened on Wednesday. Now, he was charged on Friday. Now, several people witnessed the attack. When police arrived, they found Thayer's body and her head. A machete-style knife was in an alley a few blocks away. Now, authorities have not said what motivated the attack, but Saborit has a criminal history that includes a domestic assault conviction for an attack against Thayer in 2017. Now, at that time, she said they had been dating for 7 years. So this is also crazy. So no one knows why he did it. I'm going to show you the news report. And here's the thing. When a demon manifests itself within the wicked person that holds it within, there's no need for a rhyme or reason. You see, demons are just chaotic and wicked and evil. And so they don't have to have a motivation for their attacks, right? When someone is demonic, they will do any nefarious thing for any reason. And that's just a fact. Remember the story I told you about the 19-year-old black man who murdered his own sister, who was 5 years old? He decapitated her, chopped her head right off at her own birthday party, and right in front of the police. Now, the thing about this is the police are known to shoot unarmed black people, right? Even if they're fleeing the scene, they'll shoot them in the back. But this young man had a whole knife. He sat there and decapitated his 5-year-old sister's head while the officer stood there holding his gun, watching. He also stabbed his 9-year-old sister. My question is, why didn't the cops shoot him? Clearly, he was putting someone's life in imminent danger, right? Please make it all make sense. I'm going to do a story on that. I did a story on that before on my previous channel that got terminated. So I'm going to do a story about that again, because that is truly a nefarious story. Okay? Everyone, please get those likes up. Crimson says, trying to figure out if there is an appropriate motivation for beheadings. Right, Queen, there is one. Absolutely. Who even thinks of that? Five for Black says 7 years. Dr. Joyce Brothers taught people to look at the one you're with and determine in 6 to 9 months if you wish to be with them permanently. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to show you this video. And there's not much information on this case because, like I said, the police found the woman's body and her head, but they don't have a motivation for it. And so they really don't have a lot of information on the case thus far.
question I asked the cop when I asked him if I could tell him what I saw was that was real, and he said yes.
Alexis Saborit was cleaning her house Wednesday afternoon on the corner of a busy four-way stop intersection in Shakopee when something suspicious out the window prompted her to start filming with her cell phone.
I thought it was a joke. I thought it was some type of prank. I didn't think it was real. I thought maybe it was a doll.
The doll was actually a lifeless body pulled out of the car by a man who then grabbed her decapitated head.
I saw him go in his backseat and put on his backpack and walk away like nothing happened.
The victim was America Mafalda Thayer, a 55-year-old immigrant who prosecutors say legally changed her name to America when she got her citizenship. Charged in her death is her boyfriend, 42-year-old Alexis Saborit. According to the criminal complaint, witnesses at the busy intersection who drove around the car apparently saw the suspect hacking the victim, but didn't realize what they were watching.
And he smelled something and he just stopped.
The next day, a woman walking her dog found the bloody murder weapon, a long machete with a deeply serrated edge.
It was very awful seeing it, and I wish I hadn't. I'll never be able to unsee it.
Saborit has a pending arson charge and was bailed out of jail by the victim, who also wrote a letter to a judge in a domestic abuse case claiming her boyfriend was not abusing her. In court, Saborit said, "I'm innocent. It was self-defense."
Every murder is bad, but the horror, the horrific, and the effort that it must have taken him to commit that act is just beyond belief.
Back at the murder scene, community members who feel like they know the victim, a Dollar Tree store clerk, keeps stopping by at the memorial to pay respects.
And we just wanted to wish her so much love and so much peace.
In court, the defendant asked the judge if he could be deported back to his home country instead of standing trial. The judge said no and set bail at $2.5 million. His next court hearing is scheduled for August. In Shakopee, Lou Ragoose, KARE 11 News.
Say what now? Queen can't just is self-defense my ace. Okay, hold on. He wanted to get deported. Honey, who wouldn't want to get deported instead of going to prison? You can just go over there and still be nefarious, please. But so here's another article on that same story. And let me tell you what it says. Hold on, let me exit out of this real quick. Everyone, please get those likes up. Charges. Woman killed by partner in horrific Shakopee attack was preparing to leave him. You know, in domestic violence cases, they say the most dangerous time is when the person, the victim, attempts to leave. That's when they're most likely to be killed. Because any other time that they're beating the person and mistreating them, abusing them and all of that, they know the person's not going anywhere. As long as they know the person's not going anywhere, they're just going to continue to beat the person. So they're not going to do anything to kill them. But as soon as the person gets tired of it and decides they're leaving, oh, now they want to kill you. Because the thing about these wicked people is oftentimes they'd rather see the person dead than with someone else. Now, the man accused of killing his longtime girlfriend in a horrific public attack at Shakopee intersection told investigators she had gone too far. I'm sorry, he's the one to talk because clearly he went too far, right? He said she had gone too far in suggesting they break up. Now, that's according to charges filed in Scott County on Friday against 42-year-old Alexis Saborit. Now, prosecutors say he killed 55-year-old America Thayer with a machete while they were stopped at an intersection of 45th Avenue and Spencer Street in Shakopee Wednesday afternoon. Multiple witnesses and video from a nearby resident captured some of the shocking incident and its aftermath. Officers arrested Saborit in the area of Shenandoah Parkway and Highway 101, about a mile east of the crime scene. Now, according to the criminal complaint, Saborit said that he and Thayer had been dating for several years and that they were planning to go to his court appearance together that day. But on the way, she said she wanted to end the relationship, according to the charges. Saborit then told the investigators he used a knife to kill her, saying that she had gone too far, with suggesting we break up. Saborit was charged Friday with second-degree intentional murder. As of 1 p.m. on Friday, online court records did not show a court date scheduled in the case. Now, they say two separate witnesses were at the intersection at the time of the killing, and they said they saw a man standing outside of the passenger side of a stopped vehicle making a swinging or hitting motion. One of the witnesses then saw him throw something into a nearby yard before pulling a body out of the vehicle, then picking up what looked like a human head with blonde hair. He was also seen tossing something into a nearby yard before he walked away. Now, the video shot by a nearby resident from inside a home also shows the aftermath, with investigators using Saborit's appearance in the description to track him down. Dispatch received a 911 call about a head being thrown from a car, and officers arrived on the scene to find Thayer's decapitated head and large amounts of blood on the ground nearby and in the passenger nearby the passenger side of the vehicle. Now, the vehicle belonged to Thayer and was facing southbound. Some officers were familiar with Thayer and knew that she and Saborit had been in a relationship. The description of the suspect from witnesses matched that of Saborit. Now, officers first found a bloodied shirt and shoes in the alley about a block and a half away where the location of the body was. They located Saborit near Memorial Park. He was still wearing pants and underneath red shorts that matched what was visible in the video footage, according to officers who arrested him. Now, in a post-Miranda statement, Saborit admitted to killing Thayer, explaining they'd been at a park earlier that day on the way to his court date when she told him they should break up. He cited his comments and he cited those comments and abuse as a reason for his actions. Now, investigators spoke with a man who knew both Saborit and Thayer and had been with them at Memorial Park around 2:15 p.m. that day, just minutes prior to the killing. He told police Thayer was trying to convince Saborit to go to court, warning him he'd get in trouble if he didn't. He said Thayer was clearly upset, but things seemed fine between them, otherwise at that moment, at least. He also noted Thayer had previously remarked Saborit carries a machete on him. Officers located a sheath for a machete near the intersection, and the day after the killings, a woman called in to report her dog found a machete in a nearby yard. Officers said it appeared to be covered in blood and blonde hair and noted it fit the sheath that they found. Also nefarious, clearly. Now, if that isn't crazy, I don't know what is, right? Clearly nefarious, people. Cut off this woman's head in broad daylight, discarded of the evidence as he walked away from the crime scene. Like, clearly a demon. Phil says, without self-examination by the Debar, word of Yahweh, and the fear of Yahweh, there can be no wisdom obtained, only by deception and lies of Satan and adversary. Rick says, we're denied bond for simply getting caught with a weapon, but the judge said this dude bond for $2.5 million. Make it make sense. Absolutely. Here's another thing too. They charged him with second-degree murder. I don't know why it wasn't first-degree murder, because it was clearly premeditated. Now, you may think that it takes a week or so or days to plan a murder. Premeditation, that can take effect in like 30 seconds. As little as 30 seconds. Because as soon as she said she didn't want to be with him, they should break up. He formulated the idea in his head then, oh, I'm going to kill her. And then he did it. That's premeditated. You don't need a lot of time to premeditate something. Okay? So I absolutely would have charged him with first-degree murder. Crimson says, apparently he speaks Spanish and they believed he is from Cuba. Well, he wanted to go back to his home country. He wanted to be deported rather than going to prison. That's real crazy. So anyway, that's a crazy story. And imagine that, seeing a body and a head just sitting there as you're walking down the street or as you're driving past. No wonder some people thought it was a mannequin, because who in their wildest dreams would imagine seeing that in real time, right? So crazy. Queen Candy J says, "Whoo, this story gave me chills." And I agree, Queen. This was clearly first-degree premeditated murder. Absolutely. Chrono Cross says, "Have you noticed that people get charged longer sentences for weed?" I'm glad you brought that up, because absolutely. And that's why I call it the criminal injustice system. Okay? And he got a bond. Clearly, there should have been no bond. Make that make sense, right? That is absolutely crazy. She was going to leave him while he was in court. She likely was. She was likely, but you know what? In court, she probably was going to have to testify against him, which she probably didn't even want to do because she was still with this man. JP says, yes, Queen. And he turned radio. He turned the radio on first. Said what? He turned radio first. Said what? Chop. This is not funny. Okay. That's exactly what it is, Queen. Injustice system. Absolutely, Louise. Absolutely. Fight for Black says they had to be in that spot for a minute. It takes time. Where'd they comment go? It takes time to do what he did. Yes, that's why it's premeditated. At any moment, he could have stopped. But he took time to cut her head off completely with a machete. That's absolutely first-degree murder. I don't know what they're talking about. Ma'at Egypt says, madness, evil, diabolical, wicked demons are everywhere. Yes, they are. Phil says, wicked spirits lay in wait for opportunity to take action. We must fortify ourselves in the scriptures and in relationship with our Father. Absolutely, right? So with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV Presents True Crimes. So as you're leaving, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel. And also, don't forget to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time I go live on this channel. But don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Queen EST-Man. Also on Instagram at divine_goddess_27. Brighton, Patreon, and melanated people at Queen EST-Man, and Twitter at dgoddess27. So thank you. And I hope to see you all right black in the chats tonight or this evening when I go live on Queen Ahmadiyyah TV Presents Beyond the Realm. I'm going to be doing at least 3 stories. All right, at least 3 stories. So with that all being said, I wish you all love and peace and enjoy the rest of this day. Peace.